Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I want to tell you a story that happened a long time ago and how it impacted my life. So, I was raised in a very musical family, and although I didn't know as a child that music would be a serious part of my life later, it was just a very natural thing that just kept happening around me. And never in a million years would I have thought that I would become a professional singer and people would watch me and want to hear me and want more of that. I had to really learn how to endure or how to even accept others watching me and applauding me, but we'll get to that later. So when I was a child, my mom and my dad were both musicians. My mom actually taught classical guitar at the conservatory. My dad was a singer, and my mom and dad together, they were gigging around, which means they wrote their own music in different genres, and they had performances all over the place. They were on television sometimes. My dad was on the radio. He recorded some records, and so I was always there as a child. Even when my mom was playing with the orchestra, I would be in the orchestra pit with her because I barely ever had a babysitter. My parents just really took me along everywhere and anywhere they went pretty much. So I just had to learn early on that I had to be quiet. And I just remember that it resonated with me. That time in that orchestra pit, it was the most amazing thing in my life. It was like an enchanted land. It was like a spell was cast on me, and I knew that was the most wonderful situation I could be in, to be in the midst of music and an orchestra. That sound, I got chills when I listened to that, like the string section, and it was so full and all in surround sound literally, because I was sitting in the middle of it. It was just wonderful. And then the beautiful singers would come out. They had beautiful costumes, and everything was just like a fairy tale land to me. But it also had very much reality in it, because it was about human stories, about love and loss and being heartbroken and then reuniting. And all of that resonated with me so much. I had a lot of heartbreak as a child also, because it was a very difficult situation growing up. My dad unfortunately had a really bad alcohol problem, so he would be drunk every single day, and I remember having to cry every single day of my life as a child, pretty much. But what music did for me was it just really gave me this other world of just diving into and feeling like that's where I'm safe, and that's where I know I feel really good, and I can be heartbroken when I'm listening to music that conveys that evokes that emotion, and I can also be happy. So I learned to kind of just go from one to the other easily. And to this day, I can say I'm like a child. I can be very sad quickly, but I also can snap out of it very quickly. It doesn't take much. So like if someone wants to cheer me up, just say something nice or even just give me a hug, and I'll be totally fine. I can snap out of it if I know this is authentic and this is real, if you are really wanting to connect with me. So, but I went on, and I never really thought about this too much, but I remember being in school and always thinking, why do I have to learn all this math and calculus and history? I don't really care for this too much. I wish I could just be in my world. And I couldn't put my finger on it, but I remember really always wanting to come back to some artistic activity. I wanted to write songs. I wanted to write down words. And whenever I was sad, I remember whenever my dad would freak out on me, and whenever I was really sad and heartbroken, I would always go to the piano and I would start playing, and I would start singing. I would start writing songs, and that was an outlet for me. I would write the most melancholic songs you'd ever think of, but it was an outlet. And I was very I'm very happy that I did take some piano lessons. I never took piano lessons to where I was really excellent. I just took some lessons to where I knew what was going on with the piano and how to do basics. And basically the rest I taught myself. I wanted to always just play whatever was in my heart, and that was the most fun for me. But by doing that, I became actually excellent in doing music and tuning into emotions. All of that made me who I am today. And actually, it was almost not avoidable to become what I am nowadays, a professional singer. And I've been making a full-time living off of singing for the past, 15 to 20 years. It's all because it was in my essence from the beginning. That was me. That was truly me. I could connect to music easily, and I could just take it in and then repeat. I could listen to someone sing, and I could do the same with my voice. That was something that was just, if you want to say, my gift. It was just my thing. And throughout my life, this kept on happening. Whenever I was sad, I wrote songs. Later in life, in my mid-20s, I did start actually studying voice, but that was through a lot of coincidences, which I will tell that story at another time. But it's almost like this kind of balance that you were born, and I can already see it in little, really small children that there's something. Everybody has their nature. There's something in your nature that makes you, you. And then there are experiences in your life that will resonate with you, and that's why you're drawn to something. And at the same time, because you're drawn to something, you just always keep coming back to it, or you keep doing it. And that's why it's easy for you to pick it up, and that's what makes it so enjoyable. And it's not even work for you. It really becomes a gift. And yes, you do have that gift. If you think back, way back in time, what is the thing that always was really easy for you, that, what impressions could come in from the outside that really resonated with you, that were also easy for you just to replicate and just to make these things your own. Like, I made the music my own. I felt it. I worked on it. It worked in me, and that's what made me like a great musician, I think, just because it's just not even second nature, it's first nature. It was first nature from the beginning, and it became second nature even to this day. So I want to encourage you to really think back in time, like, what is that thing that you always keep coming back to? What is it that you think of when you may have a just regular day job that you may enjoy even, but what is that thing that you always keep coming back to, that maybe you put it off to the side, or maybe you don't really want to pursue it because others haven't even told you that it's ridiculous, but maybe you expect others to tell you it's ridiculous. Let me tell you one thing. Others don't think about you as much as you think they do. They don't have as many opinions as you think. Everybody's busy living their own lives, and we're always so much worried about what others think, but they don't think about you that much. In that moment when they're talking to you, they may have an opinion, but that they only can see a snapshot of your life. Unless it's your spouse or someone who has lived with you for a long time, for many years, who has been with you all the time. But other than that, everybody else from the outside really only gets a snapshot. And so they don't know what it is that you do when you're alone, when you're letting all your guards down. I really want to encourage you to think about that thing. What is it? What is it that is your gift? What has always almost followed you around, and what is it that you always come back to whenever you feel bad? Maybe that is something that gives you strength, that you could do it anytime, even if you don't feel good. Or what is the thing that you even help others with to cheer up? Everybody has their gift. Maybe some people are great listeners, or maybe some people are great motivators, or some people are just, just give a sense of safety, security. I don't know what that thing is, but for me it was always really getting in touch with emotions, feeling them, and then also expressing them. And I did that in music. Thank you so much for watching today. I really want this to be a place of vulnerability, of everybody feeling safe enough and secure enough to where you can just open up and share your stories. I want to share lots of stories because the stories inspire. I'm always inspired by stories. I read biographies. I love it because it inspires me. It's real. It's life. This has really happened. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please do give it a thumb up because I would love many to see this and to also join in on finding their voices. Thanks. Subscribe if you have not, and I do hope you're going to be back here very soon. See you. Bye.